Okie doke, Ryan here, and if I woke up tomorrow needing to get noticeably leaner by summer, this is exactly what I would do. Yeah, it's June. You're a little bit late to the party, you rascal, but I've got you covered here. It's exactly my game plan. Step number one, first thing I would be doing is hammering the fresh fruit daily. It depends what we constitute as a serving size, but I'd be hitting 4 or 5 servings. I am now, right? 5, 6, even in maintenance, servings of fresh fruit per day. I highlight fresh fruit because with dried fruit, yes, I love my medjool dates, especially pre-workout, incredible for that fast hit of glucose. So I love the dried fruit, but given that much of the water is extracted, the calorie density is really disadvantageous compared to fresh fruit. So you get all of this volume with fresh fruit for so few calories. The hydration factor, I don't know about you, but I'm drawn to it more because it's high water content in the summer months. Just very naturally, I crave more and more fruit in the summer. And what a fantastic outlet instead of the bloody ice cream. What a fantastic outlet for those sweet cravings in the summer months. So yeah, I appreciate I spoke about this in the last video as well, but I'm saying it again here, and it's first on my list because it probably is my #1 hack for getting lean in the summer months. It really is that effective. I have avoided in the last couple of years so many bingy cheating incidents that would have skyrocketed my calories by just saying, oh, have a mango. Right, just go and get a load of melon, get 10 ounces of melon, go and get 500 grams of strawberries, 170 calories, versus cracking into the vegan cornettos, the magnums. Step number 2, right, what about the meals though? Because mostly, aside from breakfast, which I plow with a bunch of berries, I'm mostly using fruits as snacks. And what do my actual meals look like? Every meal, more or less, looks like carbohydrate base, source of plant protein. Yeah, I'm one of those hippies, if you didn't get the hint with the vegan ice cream, yeah. A small, this is really important, small measured source of healthy fats, and then a whole bunch, a really generous serving of those veggies to bulk up the meal, loads of fiber, keep you really full, but without adding all that many calories. This is why veggies are absolutely amazing. What I love about this little template is you don't need recipes. You don't need these complex recipes and cookbooks. You can literally, it's like the Swiss Army knife of meals. You can just mix things up, as I always do, to keep it fresh and interesting. My favorite carb sources honestly doesn't change that much all year long, but particular emphasis in the summer on whole wheat pasta or even a red lentil or chickpea pasta, because I love my chickpea pasta salad in the summer months. It's just like the perfect summer dish to me personally. And so I made that in my last What I Eat in a Day video, so I'll link that down below if you're interested in that. I also love white and sweet potato, particularly in the summer months. I don't do as many whole grains for whatever reason in the summer. Protein sources, of course, the usual for me. It's tofu, it's beans, it's TVP, it's seitan. Tempeh I don't really mess with that much in a fat loss phase because it's just so high. It's high in protein, but it's really high in calories per gram, so you don't get much bang for buck in terms of volume as the aforementioned plant protein sources. What about fat sources? Avocado. You don't need to ask me what month it is. I like avocado all year long, so not really a summer thing for me, but perfect for so many summer dishes, of course. Avocado, it's calorie to satisfaction, the creaminess, the richness. I prefer it. I think it's the most superior fat source from a weight loss, a fat loss, a managing calories anyway perspective. Like nuts and seeds, especially nuts, they're quite easy to overeat. Tahini, I like in some of my salad dressings. Again, it's quite easy to overportion anything runny. Like this is the problem with nut butters as well. It's quite easy to overportion. Avocado, a little bit more calorie control because of the calorie density there. But yeah, love avocado as the fat source. Nuts and seeds mostly though on breakfast, and they're so good. Nuts and seeds are obviously a fantastic backup plan for when, you know, you have this ripening issues with avocado, probably cheaper as well, right? Big critical point. Remember 90 seconds ago where I said a small measured source of healthy fats. This is so important. The fat macronutrient is really high in calories versus carbohydrates and protein. So anything that's quite rich in fat is very likely to have a very, very high calorie density compared to, again, the aforementioned macronutrients. So this is where I have this strict rule, like there's no free pouring. With stuff like fruits and veggies, as already spoken on, I'm so chilled, I'm so loose sometimes with the portion sizes, frankly. It's not that they don't contain calories and the calories in vegetables suddenly don't count just because it's vegetables. No, absolutely not. But the likelihood of overeating, the risk of overeating is so like tenfold smaller than with those really fat-rich plant foods. So I'm so militant, frankly, with measuring the healthy fats. And so veggies, yeah, I probably don't need to speak on those, but amazing for bulking up with the fiber, the low caloric density, the 3 that I mostly rotate at the moment, this time of year, frankly, any any time of year again though is broccoli, zucchini, red bell pepper I love, mushrooms I love, cucumber of course, the hydration content again, cucumber light with the fruit this time of year, just naturally seek it out, gravitate towards it. What about low calorie sauces and dressings? Otherwise this can be quite a bland tasting meal. I love hot sauce, I love salsa, I love soy sauce, a little bit of balsamic vinegar of course, mustard, my favorite thing at the moment, mustard, yeah, absolutely love it. Sometimes a little bit of plant yogurt for my dips. Again, I love dipping things for some reason in the summer months. Nice cool dips with the big veggie plates, or just drizzling like a bit of plant yogurt mixed with garlic powder on some of my dishes. Like amazing for bringing meals to life with very low calories. And if you need more specific examples of particularly how I combine certain meals, you like this bowl template, but you need help visualizing precisely what kind of meals you can start throwing together. I've put my top 15 plant-based meals that I eat on repeat in a free PDF. It's on the house for you, link below. Step 3, hopefully you can see from the previous steps here that I'm mostly promoting a whole foods focused diet, clean quote unquote eating, you know, mostly single ingredient foods. Let's not kid ourselves here. The only thing that's going to get that scale moving consistently to the tune of 1 to 2 pounds per week, that healthy, sensible range of weight loss, is a consistent calorie deficit. That's it. It's not actually strict whole foods only or like perfect purity with food rules. This is forgive me if this is really obvious to you already and you don't really need to hear it's about the calories, like maybe that's like grade 1 to you, but honestly this is a huge misconception in the plant-based, in my own world, in my own industry, the plant-based community. This is a massive misconception that being compliant with perfect whole foods eating is enough to get the scale moving. Sadly not. So if you're not tracking your calories, which is totally fine by the way, I don't think you need to get results, but if you're not tracking your calories, you're following the principles that I share in this video, other videos, just general whole foods, clean, healthy eating, and the scale stops moving. This isn't some big mystery like people often think it is. They start concluding, oh, my metabolism is broken, maybe this whole plant-based shtick isn't going to work for me, oh, maybe it's the exercise. No, you're just not in, the exercise will help, but you're just not in a calorie deficit. That's it. It's not some big taboo, it's not some big mystery. It's that straightforward. You need a calorie deficit to lose weight regardless, or irregardless I should say, of how clean that you actually eat. What's the solution for this? All you actually need to do here, again, you don't need to track your calories to do this, you just need to make the necessary changes to your food habits to bring yourself back into a calorie deficit, to siphon some calories, a significant enough amount of calories from your diet to consistently get that scale budging. Again, remember the scale is the feedback system that tells you if your plan is working or not each week. Now, how do we then reduce those calories? Frankly, that's up to you. There's a million different tactics for this. I had a client last week, we just switched them from oat milk to almond milk, and we reduced slightly by about 20% the amount of grain in their dinner meal, and bang, they got through the plateau. Like that was it. Like honestly, some people do like the really extreme stuff. Oh, I need to do juicing now, I need to do detoxing now, I need to skip breakfast now. Like you honestly, in most cases, don't need to do something that aggressive. Just these little subtle changes to just reduce your calories slightly, and boom, the scale gets going again. But bottom line, whatever it is, whichever method that you take here, your calorie intake just needs to come down to hit that sweet spot where you're losing weight, but it's not so aggressive that it's unsustainable. Step 4 is super obvious. I speak on it all the time, so I promise you we're not going to spend too long on it. It's walking. We've talked about the nutrition already. What about the exercise? Nothing, no secret hack here. No super zone 2 style of training and then do 50 burpees at the end. That's amazing for fat burning. Like all of this shtick, right? No, walking is criminally underrated for fat loss, as I've been talking about for years. Why? Because it provides that steady, consistent, reliable calorie burn throughout the day. It's such an easy way to burn calories that has minimal injury risk, so therefore it's sustainable. You can literally do it every day versus the really intense forms of exercise that you need this. You might burn a lot of calories in that 45 minutes, but you need this big layoff, this big recovery time, really hard to get yourself motivated for, to keep doing consistently. So yeah, this is why I just love walking, and the appetite spike, or the lack thereof of appetite spike with walking, is so pronounced versus those other forms of exercise, even when the calories are equalized. So this is why I love walking for fat loss, so underrated. Cut to the chase, right? How many steps are ideal for fat loss? Of course, it's completely relative. This is completely individualized, but as a rule of thumb, it's kind of obvious, but as a rule of thumb, the more is better. Obviously, you just don't want it to be unrealistic. This is how I would think about it if I was you. Take your current step count, add 2,000 to 3,000 to it, because that's a really achievable increase that feels like somewhat of a challenge, but not so daunting, overwhelming, time-consuming that you're very unlikely to do it. Supplementary exercise, do I need to do strength training, Ryan? Any extra cardio? You don't need to do anything. Again, your results each week when it comes to fat loss are going to be predicated on you being in that consistent calorie deficit. You can do with that with lots of exercise, no exercise. Heck, you might even hear my argument on walking. You go, Ryan, I get it, but I don't really like walking that much. I'm just going to do my own thing. You will still get results if you are consistently in that calorie deficit regardless. But what I've landed on is that the daily steps are the foundation, and then I treat everything else like a cherry on the cake. I love strength training, so I hit the gym to lift weights 3 times a week, and I love that, and I've been doing that for years, and I feel amazing doing it. But it's not a fat loss tool for me. I don't think about it like, oh, calories burned, checking the Apple Watch for how many calories I've burned, and then factoring it into getting to eat those 300 calories back. Like, I don't even think about it as a calorie burner. I don't even think about it from a fat loss perspective because it's just 3 times a week. People don't actually burn as much as some of the data often shows on the Apple Watches. Anyway, I digress. Maybe I don't do as much cardio as I should. I play a bit of tennis from time to time. Sometimes I sit and gently pedal on the recumbent bike after some of those strength sessions. The point I'm making, like, I'm so chilled about it, so laissez-faire, it's cherry on the cake mentality. Walking is the foundation. Amazing. Step number 5, hopefully by now you feel the bare bones, more than the bare bones, but the crux of a really good summer fat loss plan coming together. But let's be honest, a lot of what I've covered so far, it's all well and good when things are under your control, but the summer can throw up all kinds of weddings and barbecues, summer events, outdoor fairs, etc., etc. So, like, what do you do about those things? When I do eat out, I'm keeping it super sensible, right? I'm opting for a really big salad, a superfood salad that seems to be standard on every menu now. I'm thinking about vegetable sushi. Japanese food is amazing, or tends to be amazing for calorie control. Of course, it depends what you pick, but I think people really don't realize how few calories compared to other more grandiose meals out are in like a basic vegetable sushi, like avocado, cucumber rolls, red bell pepper rolls, etc., etc. Side of edamame that you throw a bit of high sodium, but you throw a bit of soy sauce on there. Calorie-wise, like, these are really, really good options when it comes to meals out. If I'm in a really awkward scenario, I'm just going to put a few sides together, a little bit of salt, maybe ask for a dash of hot sauce or whatever. Like, no, okay, it's not fun, it's not crazy, you are gonna get looked at like you're the weirdo who's trying to clean eat. But honestly, again, we're talking about efficient weight loss here. We don't have the luxury of having 1,000, 1,200 calorie burgers every now and again. Like, we don't, and the spiral that can come from that, we just don't want that threat. And again, another tip is keep the steps particularly high on any days that you feel you anticipate might be a little bit more indulgent in the food choices. Maybe skip your afternoon snack, those little bits of fruit every now and again to save 100, 200 calories there. Just a little bit, don't go extreme with this, a little bit of calorie compensation with this stuff. Remind yourself as well, like, you've tasted everything in the world that you want to taste, right? You've already had it before. You know what it's like. Focus on the mission, focus on the plan, and it's all worth it when you see that scale dropping, when you're looking at yourself in 10 weeks time in the mirror and you're feeling freaking incredible about yourself. Like you don't care about that one burger that you missed. Like, you honestly don't. It's so worth it. Keep going. All right, those are the exact 5 things I'd be focused on to get noticeably leaner before the summer without, I think, doing anything too extreme, I would say, in the aforementioned here. I think that's fair to say. Is it a simple enough sounding plan on paper? Yes. As always, though, of course, the challenge is remaining consistent and motivated with this stuff. Again, with the summer barbecues, the weddings, and especially, I'm sure vacations and whatnot as well. So if you do need me to do my thing, so to speak, and apply massive accountability and the kind of personalization with your meal plan that makes this whole process so much easier, takes the stress away from you because I handle all the numbers, the calories, the protein, everything like that for you, to have someone there to get you through the plateaus and to adjust, for cravings, pull you back on track when you do inevitably make mistakes, or you have a little binge, or you hit those quitting points. Yeah, I can help. I'd love to help. I can help you do all of this on my coaching program, Slim and Sustain. Fill out the form, linked down below, the website down below. I'll send you all the details about working with me one-on-one there. Okay, summer fat loss game plan. Let's do it. Let's get to work.